Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for being here for another one of my YouTube practices. Today I have got a strong and stretchy power flow for you. I would recommend with this practice that it would be suitable for somebody who already has a yoga practice of sorts. I will offer different options throughout, but just remembering to take what you need from the practice, listen to your body, and if you're really new to yoga or you're a complete beginner, I would recommend one of my other practices on this channel, something a bit more gentle, perhaps a restorative. Seated position on the mat, and I recommend having some blocks today, any props that you need to support you in your practice. And then we will start the class in a standing position. To come into a standing position at the top of your mat, I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to ground through the feet, and we're going to pause and take a moment here to connect to our breath. So you can either close the eyes or take a steady gaze. And start to work up from the feet, observing how your body's feeling today, noticing any sensations, noticing what's alive, what's going on for you. Perhaps you can start to feel your rib cage expand with the breath. See how it feels, keeping your eyes closed, to start to sweep your arms up to the sky, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, sweep the arms back down, and start to bring the hands into heart center. Lightly press the hands into your chest. One more time, inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky, grow your spine tall. Exhale, sweep the arms back down, float the hands in to your chest. Press the hands lightly, feel the connection between your hands and your chest. And release. Start to open the eyes if you have them closed. And inhale, sweep this left arm up to the left ear. Lift up and out of the waist, and on the exhale, come into a stretch, sliding this right hand down the right leg. This doesn't need to be a really wide range of movement. This could be really subtle. Keep the space across the chest. And come up, float the left hand down. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, stretch over to the other side. Feeling the right side body opening up now. And release. Start to take some wrist flicks here. No, I love this one. And again, you can start to bring the weight down with these wrist flicks, and energetically this is really good for your body and your energy field, if you like. So shake it out, release. Maybe start taking shape through the legs. Don't worry if you feel silly. Find a bit of lightheartedness here. And come to stillness again. And we're going to start to mobilize the spine a bit now. So drop chin down to your chest. And then bring your hands to the front of your thighs. And again, keep as much softness through the legs as you need to. And we're going to start to curl the body down. So we've got a rounded spine, and we're sweeping these hands down. They don't have to be connected to the legs. They could be hanging down here. So just working into some spine mobilization, rounding through the spine, coming down into a forward fold, And then start to curl the body back up. Again, keeping as much softness through the legs, rounding through the spine. Head and neck coming up last. Then take the hands behind the back, interlace the hands, open across the chest, shine your heart forwards. Keep lifting up and out of the waist as you do this. And maybe taking some gentle movement here, rocking from side to side, being really mindful of how the spine and the shoulders feel in this position. Being gentle on the body as we open up. And release. Meet me in your Tadasana at the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step the feet back, drop the knees down, lower the belly down to the mat. Inhale, roll your shoulders, lift your chest, cobra. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Engage, activate the lower body. Exhale, melt the chest back down. Inhale, start to press the hands into the mat, lifting the body up, tucking the toes under, and on the exhale, send your hips to the sky for your first downward facing dog. Press the mat away from you with your hands. Send your gaze between your knees. Reach the hips to the sky. You can take a pedal out here in your downward facing dog. Try and really relax the head and the neck. Reconnect to your breath. Remembering you can take a child's pose at any time throughout the practice that you need a pause. Taking what you need from this practice. I am guiding you, but also allow your breath to guide you. Allow your awareness of what you need to be your guide. Inhale, step or walk the feet in towards the hands, lift the chest and lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, soften the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, grow the spine tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lift the chest, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, float the hands down to the mat, step the feet back and work through your version of Chaturanga. So on the inhale, either coming through into an upward facing dog or a cobra. And on your exhale, making your way back to downward facing dog. Belly button's coming in towards the spine. Reconnect to your breath. Keep making space in the body. On your next inhale, you're going to start to bring this left knee towards the left elbow as you float into plank, tapping the left knee to the left elbow, then send the left leg back into a three-legged dog, hips are square. Bring the left knee in again, tap the left knee to the left elbow. So notice how my shoulders have come forwards here as I do this. And then bring this left foot through, plant it on the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high lunge, well done. Remember, you could drop this back knee down to butterfly. Bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your hips. On the exhale, twist to the left and hook your right elbow on the outside of the left thigh, coming into this twist here. So keep thinking about bringing the belly away from the thigh, using your palms, pressing them together, sending your gaze up to the ceiling. Maybe you start to open out the arms here into your revolved side angle. That's just an option. You don't have to come into this. Start to bring the palms back together if you'd come into that option and lift with control the body away, coming back through into neutral. And then we're going to start to pivot into this side plane of the body and bend through this left knee, coming into Skandasana. Now, again, this is very strong on the knee joint and the ankle. So you could be using blocks here. You could be taking your Skandasana higher up, so you could be working in a Skandasana here. So be mindful and listen to your body. Make your way over to the other side into your Skandasana, sending the gaze towards the sky, shining the heart towards the ceiling. And then start to pivot around, facing the back of your mat, bringing your hands down to the mat. Lift this right foot away and tap the right knee to the right elbow, and then shift it back as you come into a three-leg dog. So sending the shoulders back as you send the right leg back behind you. Inhale. Bring the right knee in again, tap the right elbow, and then bring the foot back down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high lunge. Remember, you can drop down this left knee if you need to. Bring the hands back to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Inhale, lift your ribs away from the hips. Exhale, twist to the right and start to come down and hook this left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Pressing the palms together, send your gaze towards the sky. Maybe you start to open out into your revolved side angle. Breathing here, feeling into the wobbles and shakes. Bring the palms back together. Release the elbow away with control. And float the hands back down. Step the foot back and vinyasa. Work through your version of Chaturanga. Inhaling either into upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Take a releasing breath here. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Reconnect to your Ujjayi breath if that's in your practice, your ocean breath. But no worries if it's not. Just working with listening to your breath, equal breathing. Keep sending your hips away from your ribs in your downward facing dog, finding space through the spine. Remembering you can bend the legs as much as you need to. The heels could come away from the mat. The most important thing is the spine. Inhale, this time we're going to step the right foot through between the hands. And we're going to open ourselves out into warrior two. So left foot is roughly in line with the side of the mat. Send your gaze forward over your right fingertips. Breathe here. And then either stepping this left foot in slightly, or if you want a challenge, you can come straight from your warrior two. We're going to power into this right leg. And you could grab a block here and have a block under the right hand. All the fingertips are coming to the mat, coming into your half moon. Maybe you're sending your gaze up to the sky here. Really challenging place to be with the balance. Just keep breathing. And start to float the left hand down. Take as much bend through this right leg as you need to. Step the left foot back and plant the left toes on the mat. And then pressing and grounding through the hands, release this right leg. And then bringing the knee to the outside of the right hand. Start to sink down into your pigeon. Option to then walk the hands forwards, folding forwards in your pigeon pose. You can close the eyes here if that feels good too. Taking a moment to check in with how you're feeling. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Noticing any of the energy, the heat that you're building in this practice within your body energetically. Observe any resistance to this pose. And that might not be in a physical sense. It might be mental resistance to a pose. Quite often, simply being in stillness can bring about mental resistance. Our mind taking us to other places of what we need to do next, or what we did before this, or what we're doing next week. This is where you can use the breath, refocus on the breath, keep thinking about every single feeling, every single thing that's happening in your body right now. Bring yourself back into the present. Start to slowly walk the hands in, coming back up from your pigeon. And then really important here, we want to ground the hands into the mat and tuck the left toes under. And we want the weight to be going into the hands and through this back leg and this back foot, really avoiding putting weight into the knee joint here. With control, lift this right knee away, meet back in a plank position, and come through your version of Chaturanga. Inhaling through upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Well done. Breathing here. On your next inhale, step the left foot through between the hands this time. And open yourself out into your warrior two. Send your gaze forward over the left fingertips. And then either stepping this back foot in slightly to support first, or really if you want to have an added additional challenge in, see how it feels to power through this left leg and then start to come into your half moon. You could be taking your left hand on a block here, reaching the right arm up to the sky. Maybe your gaze follows. Reconnect to your breath. Feeling into the wobbles and shakes and honoring them, accepting them. Float the right arm down, soften through the left leg. And then we're going to plant the hands back on the mat, keeping this back right leg really nice and strong, grounding through the hands. Lift this left foot away and then bring the knee to the outside of the left wrist or the left hand. And then slide down, meet in your pigeon on the left side. Squaring off the hips here, so we want the hips to be nicely shining forwards. And then when you're ready, slowly walking the hands out in front, melting the chest and the forehead down. into your pigeon on the left side. For some of us, pigeon can be quite a triggering posture. Can be a bit like Marmite, love it or hate it. But sometimes the postures that we find the most challenging are the ones that we sometimes need the most. So keep breathing into it. See if you can find any comfort within the discomfort. See if you can really surrender to the pose. Inhale, slowly start to come up from the fold. And from here, seeing how it feels to start to bring this right leg around from your pigeon. No worries if that's feeling too strong for you. You can come out of your pigeon in a totally different way. Just meeting me in a seated position on your mat. And we'll send our legs out to the side, coming into this wide leg stretch. And again, just remembering here, it does not matter how wide your legs are coming whatsoever. Come to a place where you can feel the stretch that works for you. And we're not looking to come to our maximum here either with the legs. So come to about 70%. And thinking about flexing through the feet and having the thighs shining towards the ceiling. This is really important. So keeping that. And then maybe you start to walk the hands forward, leading with the chest, coming into a forward fold here. But remembering that this may not be a really large range of movement in this stretch, depending on how your body is feeling today. So knowing your limits, listening to your body. As always, option to come down to the mat. You can take your peace fingers around your big toes if that's in your practice and melt the chest down. But keeping these thighs rolling up, so the thighs facing the ceiling. Keeping the spine long. Inhale, start to walk the hands in, coming up from the fold. Bring those legs back in together. Hug the knees in towards the body. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe you take a gentle rock back and forth here, or from side to side. And we'll finish with a twist. So hugging the knees in with the left hand. Bring your right hand out behind you to the mat to support you. And then inhale, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling, and on the exhale, twist to the right, really hugging the knees with this left arm. Allow yourself to come into the twist here. Your gaze is following, coming over the right shoulder or in that direction. And release. Take a little rock. And then we'll come onto the other side. So wrapping this right arm around the legs this time. Left hand comes to the mat behind you. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your hips first. Exhale, twist to the left. Allow your gaze come over the left shoulder. Keep breathing here, thinking about on every inhale, lifting, making space, and on the exhale, releasing. And release from the twist. Come into a comfortable seated position on your mat. Close off the eyes. Relax your shoulders. Lightly reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Notice where the breath's traveling to. Keep observing any thoughts passing through. Being a watcher of those thoughts. Opening the eyes back up. As always, if you have time to come into a proper Shavasana here, I would definitely recommend that. Taking another 5 to 10 minutes to lie on your mat, come into relaxation pose if you have time. And thank you so much for doing this practice with me today. I know it was quite strong, it was quite a challenging sequence, but hopefully you enjoyed the challenge and found it beneficial, hopefully fun as well. I know that I enjoyed it and enjoyed teaching it to you. So yeah, for any kind of more practices from me that are maybe slightly longer, maybe some live practices, all sorts of different things available on my membership. The link is below, so do have a look at that. Do also subscribe to this channel, and lots more free yoga resource and videos coming out every single week. So do subscribe and like, comment, give me your feedback and any requests for anything that you want to see on here. And yes, I can't wait to see you again very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.